Cloud, bang. It is February 13th still, session 2, team meeting. And let's go to a screen share. I'll pull it up. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here. All right, so this here is going to be a Getting More Appointments workshop using this document. So you guys in virtual land can see my screen, right? Yes? Cool. So you can follow along on the computer. You can follow along with the handout. The purpose of this, the first and foremost, the key to getting more appointments is not necessarily any of the tools or strategies I'm going to give you. Getting more appointments, it starts up here. We already talked about this session 1. It's not about resources. It's about what? Resourcefulness. It's all about resourcefulness. If you have the resourcefulness, your resources will appear in front of you. It's funny. I had a conversation with Ed Felder. If you don't know that name, you should. He's a fantastic speaker, and he has a great following. His name is Ed Felder. He is called the funding guy. He helps commercial real estate agents get funding for commercial properties. That's what he does. And he is, buku amounts of money. Guy's real impressive dude. And he said, the goal in life is not to wait for things to happen. It's to always be ready for when those things are to happen. Because if for some reason you're not ready when the opportunity arises, and that's when you finally start getting ready, you miss the opportunity. So it's a matter of always being ready. So if you want to create appointments, it's important to always be ready to create the appointments. If someone answers their phone, if someone calls you, someone sends a message, you're at a party with your mom and someone brings up Cutco. If you're at church and someone brings up the product, if you're at a friend's mom's house and she's like, oh, what are you up to? You are ready with your stump speech, if you will, on what you do and how to set up that appointment. So what are you selling in those conversations? Are you selling Cutco? No, you're selling yourself and what that feels like, so that way you're congruent. Because if you're anything like me, I used to feel like I don't want to manipulate or make someone feel like they're just doing the appointment just to do the appointment with me so I can get them at the end. It's like, so I could get them. Hey, you book up the appointment with me, I'm going to get you at the end and you're going to buy some knives. It's easy to feel that way if I was selling for my own intent. So it's important to know what I'm selling. I'm selling me. So here's what I would say. Ready? I'm in a conversation with a soccer mom. Say Lindsay's at her mom's barbecue. And Susie down the street comes over. Is like, oh my God, Lindsay, you look so good. You're all grown up. Look at you. Pinch your cheek. So what are you doing nowadays? And Lindsay has her stump speech prepared that would sound something like this. I'm going to school at UF. I'm really excited. I have some goals I'm working towards later on in life. I'm working on this book. I'm really pumped. And what I'm really doing right now is to develop my personal growth, like time management skills, goal setting skills, communication skills, self-confidence. And I'm developing those skills by working with Cutco and Vector. They have a really cool product. They have a really cool program for students. They even have a scholarship program that can help me pay for school as well. And it's real flexible around my classes. And the program's really easy. I just have to do 5 appointments a week to stay on track towards all my goals. And in fact, you can actually help me out with one of those 5 appointments if you wouldn't mind. Let me come by and do one of those quick presentations where you'd help me out a ton. They pay me anyway, whether or not you buy, but it also helps me towards all those goals I shared with you. Would it be cool if I called you to arrange one of those appointments? That's congruent. Now, this is recorded so that way you could revisit what I just said. But what are the bullet points of what I just said? It's going to be something that's in this packet. So why I'm saying this to you is because the mindset of what you're selling, of selling you, the packet answers everything else for you. I could give you the hows, but it's important to win the mental game first. Why was it awkward for me to call my ex-girlfriend's mom when I was in school? Is because I was calling her thinking that, oh no, what if she calls me out and says, you're only calling me because you need something? Well, yeah. Yeah. How awkward would this be? Ready? Hey, Sarah's mom, I haven't talked to you in a while. How are you? Good. Good. How are you? Good. All right. Bye. That'd be pretty damn awkward. Of course I called you because I needed a favor. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I called you because I needed a favor. And I thought you would be nice enough to be the one to do me a favor. Of course, that's why I called you. And if you approach it the right way, a lot of moms thank you for thinking of them. Oh my gosh, really? Out of everyone, you thought of me to help you with this favor? You ever hold a door for someone else and then they thank you for holding the door and you feel good? They're like, thank you, kind sir. And you're like, thank you. Or wait, you're welcome. But you feel good that they thanked you. That's how sometimes moms will feel, that you ask them for the favor and they feel good helping you. Don't rob them of the opportunity to help a young kid. Don't rob them of their good deed for the day. I promise you, when you do a good deed for someone else, you feel good. I promise you, when they do a good deed for someone else, they feel good. Don't be so selfish. Don't take that joy away from Mrs. Jones to hang out with you and do her good deed for the day. Don't be so selfish. That's the mental game. Win that first, and you will be able to create a ton of appointments using the tools that I'm going to give you right now. So let's transition into the tools. So what does it say at the very top? Some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? That's it. It's a contact sport. What's the objective of a football? Get the ball to cross the end zone. That's it. That's all. That's your job. How do you do that? It doesn't matter. You run over people, run through people, go around people, go under them, go over, whatever you have to do to get the damn ball into the damn end zone. That's your job. Sometimes you get sacked, sometimes you get tackled, sometimes you fumble, sometimes you interception. Some other stuff happens, but the goal is to get the ball to the end zone. Your job, your goal, your bottom line, get Mrs. Jones to let you in the door. Some will, some won't. So what? Who cares? Who's next? That's it. Sometimes you fumble, sometimes you sack, sometimes you get tackled, sometimes you intercept. So what? Who cares? What's next? Throw the next play. Let's go. That's the mindset of creating appointments. Make it into a game, and it's not emotional anymore. Take the emotions out of it. So make it into a game. So here are some ideas and some helpful thought joggers to start. Family, extended family. So as far as extended family, I want you to think about weddings and funerals. I want you to think about mom has a mom, that's your grandma, and grandma has a husband, that's your grandpa. Grandpa has siblings. Grandma has siblings. Those siblings have kids, and those kids probably have siblings. And there's a whole branch of family that only shows up at weddings and funerals that I guarantee. Amanda found a long-lost cousin that lives in California randomly from this little branching network. I guarantee you there are long-lost cousins that you have no idea that even exist, but if you really did some digging and searching, you'd be able to uncover them. Now, don't worry about phone numbers. We'll talk about that, but think of the names. And as I'm going through this exercise with you, I guarantee there's long-lost relatives that you could reach out to and say, hey, I know it's kind of random, but I'm so-and-so's son, daughter, whatever connected. I freaking had one of my fourth cousins come in for a training seminar a couple weeks back. There's a Abramowitz roaming around St. Pete. I thought it was funny, but anyway, screw you guys. All right, so so extended family is huge. Think about this one. Ready? Your uncle, your mom's husband, or not your dad. Your mom, your mom's brother, your uncle. He has a wife. That wife is not related to you. That's your step-aunt, and that step-aunt has a ton of family that's not your family. That's tick tack, whatever. We're not going tit for tat. It's definitely a step in, but either way, it's not an in-law because you didn't marry them. So but anyway, so doesn't matter. The facilitator never likes to be corrected. Either way, that person is not in your family. They married into your family, and they have a whole family that's not yours. Hopefully, if you're approaching this workshop the right way, you are starting to write down some ideas as we're doing this. Be like, ooh, dang, that could be a possibility. I do have a step-aunt. I forgot about that lady. Yeah, she did marry my uncle. She does have a whole family I never met before. Could I introduce myself to those people? Yes. I'll write that down. All right, let's continue. We're not going to go through every one of these, but ones that I think you haven't tapped into as possibilities, because I had just had two people in this room say, oh, I'm out of phone numbers. And wait, ready? When someone says I'm out of phone numbers, this is what I think. Flag on the play. You're not out of phone numbers. You're not being resourceful. I just gave you two ideas that if I guarantee you, if you're resourceful and wanted to, and yeah, I actually need this piece of paper, that you would be able to find some people. Who is your childhood doctor? Who is the doctor that you went to when you were you're a pediatrician? The doctor that smacked your little tushy when you were a kid? Yeah, that guy. That guy made a ton of freaking money off your family your entire life as a kid. Every time you got sick, anytime you stubbed your toe, that guy made a ton of freaking money off you. The least he could do is give you, a little bit of his time to be able to, get a phone call and do an appointment. Your orthodontist, your optometrist, if you have glasses, if you ever had braces growing up, they made a ton of freaking money off your family. I guarantee you, if you called them with confidence, you'd be able to get an appointment. Think about your family accountant. Who does your parents' taxes for them? Guarantee you could get an appointment with them. Who's your parents' insurance agent? I guarantee you get an appointment with them. These are all people that make a ton of freaking money off of your family. And if you call them with confidence, you'd be able to get appointments with them. Who sold your parents their house a long time ago? That might be an an idea to think about. Who's selling your mom's current house? Or, that might be an idea as well. Teachers, if you went through 12 years of schooling, which many of you did, and especially in high school, middle school, there's 7 teachers for every class that you have, for 7 periods, especially later on in life. You're talking, you essentially had like 5 to 7 different teachers each year. And if you went through schooling for a decade, there's probably 40 or 50 teachers that you could reach out to for appointments. And all of their email addresses are on the school's website that you could reach out to as well. Just a thought. So for those of you that think you're out of resources, I just want you to think about it in those terms. I went to CCC today and I bumped into Mary Weber and she was at the front desk and I was like, I said, Mary, just so you know, I have Alex, I have Lindsay, I have Steven, I have Khalid. She's like, Khalid? She stopped on Khalid. She's like, really? He's doing it? It's so funny. I don't know what that means, but that's what she said. And she's like, oh my God, tell all of them I love them and they're such good people. And she's like, but I'm so proud. She went on a rant on how proud of Steven she was. She's like, specifically, she's like, I'm so proud of Steven. I bumped into his mom and it's really cool to see what he's doing. And then I talked about Alex and Lindsay, how they're gearing up. And she's probably bought Cutco, like, I don't even know, probably 15 times. And this is the lady that works the front desk of the high school. Just to kind of, how many ladies are there in your high school that are other Mary Webers that would love to support 15 students that she's no exaggeration, probably bought from 15 of my Cutco reps. And she's the lady that works at the front desk of the school. I guarantee you're missing out. Countryside High School. I just met Patty Mascaro. And she's like, oh, those guys are great. Exactly. You need to know every damn teacher in your school. And don't say, I don't have people to call. Your teacher's job is to help you make a job opportunity available to yourself post-high school. Or at least position you. Mary Gerakis, I guarantee you she'll do a demo with you. Who? Find these damn teachers. What high school? Yeah, cool. All right, but anyway, you guys get my drift. There's tons. There's tons of opportunities there too. Again, I'm not going to go through every one of these. I'm just picking out a few that I believe you could get to very easily. Bosses, old jobs. My goodness. It took so much damn courage for me to go to my old job. I went to the job I quit to start selling Cutco. I showed up there. I was so damn nervous. Bob Reveley. Say, hey, Bob, how are you? And he didn't even remember me. I was like, I worked here for about a year and a half. And he's like, oh, yeah, how can I help you? He's like, well, I got a new job. He's like, I was like, I really want to do an appointment with you and your wife. He's like, that's not going to happen, but I could do a quick one with you. Do you have your stuff? And he had me come to the break room. I did the worst 10-minute demo you ever could, and he bought a fishing knife for me out of pity. I was like, I'll take it. But he said, but let me go ahead and get Frankie Smith for you. Frankie Smith worked in the deli. He literally got on the loudspeaker to the store, called, hey, Frankie, come to the break room. Frankie Smith comes to the break room, buys a galley set with a free cleaver from me in the break room. Apparently, I remember this because I had to call my manager to see if I could give a cleaver for free. And then Frankie gets on the loudspeaker and calls the guy from the deli. I don't remember his name, but I remember he called the guy from the deli. He was like, this is my wife's department. And he had me over his house. I did a demo for his wife while she was doing haircuts. She was literally doing a home haircut for someone during my knife demo and bought an essential set. And then I got a phone number for one of the other kids there. His name is Donnie. Donnie was cashiers with me. I asked Donnie for his mom's number, and he was like, why do you need my mom's number? I said, I just want to ask her a favor for my new job. He awkwardly gave me the number, and his mom, the reason why I remember is because she was my first morning phone call ever at 7:15 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. My manager woke me up out of bed because I was behind my goal for the day. And he said, hey, you're behind your goal. I need you to make morning phone calls. I was like, I don't know who to call. He said, I don't care who you call. I just need you to hit your goal. Who do you know that you can call? I was like, well, I never met Donnie's mom, so it doesn't really matter. So she says, no, I never met her anyway. So if she says no, I never have to see her ever. And if she says yes, then maybe I'll have a friend. Called her up. She was in a chipper mood and booked up a morning phone time appointment for the same day. And I was like, oh, shit, morning phone time works. This is cool. We're going back 15 years. 15 years ago, I did this stuff. Why do I remember it? Because I was so scared to do this stuff. But because I was willing to overcome the fears and overcome my own insecurities, I was able to hit my goals. And 15 years later, sitting in the Hall of Fame telling the tale. Straight up. So bottom line is, you're either going to win the battle of the mind or the battle of the mind will win you. Change the story. This is simple. This is easy, guys. This is fun. Make it into a game. Make it into a game. Who cares? So what? What does it say? Some will, some won't. Who cares? So what? Who's next? Whatever. All right. That kind of gives you some ideas. So here's some useful resources. You got your phone, your mom and dad phone, mom address book, Christmas card list, mom's Facebook. We've talked about that a bunch. High school, middle school yearbook. Are you kidding me? I had an elementary school yearbook to Lloyd Road Elementary School. I didn't even know we had that. I didn't even know that exists. That was a good one for me. Miss D. Silvestri was my kindergarten teacher. She already owned a set of Cutco. She said I was the first student ever. She taught elementary. She taught kindergarten. She taught for 30 plus years. She said I was the first one ever to call her as a grown-up. Imagine that. Imagine teaching 30 years and I was the first one to ever call her as a grown-up. And she's like, I would love to see you and see how you're doing. And she taught all my older brothers and sisters, kindergarten, Lloyd Road Elementary. She bought a fishing knife for me. She fed me a sandwich, gave me 15 recommendations, already had a set of Cutco. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was a great, memorable appointment, Miss D. Silvestri. And now I believe I'm friends with her daughter on Facebook. I see it pop up sometimes. Pretty freaking cool. Who's your kindergarten teacher? Maybe she deserves to have a conversation with you. Light up her day. Sports rosters. If you play on a sports team, there's probably 12 or more people on that team that has a mom that you could do an appointment with. Church, neighborhood directory is okay. Thoughts for getting parents involved. So if you have a family member, say I'm Zach and I want to get my Aunt Susie involved. Like I want to enroll Aunt Susie. I say I love you. She loves me. I'm her favorite nephew. She's my favorite aunt. I would say, hey, Auntie, listen, I need a favor. What is it, Zachary? Listen, I get paid every time I show Cutco, but since I'm new, I want to get training with people I know of and people that know of me. So it just makes it really comfortable. And I'm just looking for people who might set up an appointment with me just to take a look at the products and just help me with my presentation. And every appointment I do will help me gain some more confidence. Would you mind putting me on speakerphone and just going through your cell phone A through Z and just picking out some nice people, maybe 20 or 30 that might possibly be okay if I just reach out to them and give them a call? You're telling me that aunt that you say I love you to and that you says I love you back and you're the favorite nephew is going to turn you away from giving that type of approach? Maybe. And if she does, so what? Call the next one. She wasn't your favorite aunt after all. I'm telling you, Amanda had this conversation with a complete stranger, her vocal coach, and her vocal coach gave her like 40 or 30 or 25 people and went through her cell phone. And she just met this lady like 6 months ago to a year ago. And you're telling me someone that's known you your entire life wouldn't trust you with 20 or 25 other friends. Legitimately, they probably have 100 phone numbers in their phone or more, and another 100 or more on Facebook. And you're telling me that 200 people, they don't trust you with 10%? 10% of their friends, which is 20 people? That's hard for you to convince me of that. I wouldn't have hired you if you were that much of a loser. Let's face it. That's essentially what you're saying. You're a loser. I don't trust you with 10% of my contact list. Let's face it. You wouldn't have got this job if you were that much of a loser. Because you're not. You're winners. You're just not willing to have that conversation with someone. And if you did, you didn't have it this way. I know I'm being intense right now. I know I'm being intense. But that's what's needed to get through that story that's built up of, I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. You've been living in scarcity. Let's interrupt scarcity, get away from it, and start living in your goals that you deserve to have. Every one of you deserve to be making $1,000 paychecks. Every one of you should be making $1,000 paychecks. You don't even know what that looks like. Can you imagine a $1,000 paycheck with your name next to it? You deserve that. And the only thing that stands in the way of you and a $1,000 paycheck is this document. Every one of you deserve that. 30% commissions in the back? 35, 40? You should be getting a $1,000 paycheck every single week. What's holding you back? This document. That's it. That's it. It's not rocket science, guys. All right. So those are thoughts for getting parents, relatives, people close to you involved. Next one, sticky note approach. Sticky note approach. Well, we just had proof last week. Talk to us about this. I might have over-exaggerated it. And if I over-exaggerated the story, I apologize to everyone. I'm going to turn the camera to you. All right, TJ, brand new, rookie. Tell us about your sticky note experience and how you were able to find this customer, sell them $1,700 worth of Cutco, and establish a friendship with them.
Well, you just kind of have to go out and
Don't tell us what to do. Tell us what you did.
What I did.
Yep.
So I just went out and started leaving my information to people, and just really, if I saw somebody, just asking me questions. We have a script, so it tells you a lot of what you need to go over. If you can just treat. Well, we went over it last week. Just treat everyone like a potential buyer, and if you do that, even if they're strangers, they can still buy stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I went up there. I was a little bit uncomfortable just with some strangers going into their home.
No, to do that.
What?
So wait. These strangers, you're saying these strangers, how far they live on your street?
Some of them. The one I actually made a lot of money with lived in the same condominium as my grandpa.
So you went to grandpa's neighbors.
Yeah, went out and about.
So grandpa's neighbors put some of these sticky notes on the door. What did the sticky notes say? What did you handwrite it?
Yeah. I feel like when you handwrite it, it just adds a bit of a personal touch to it, and people feel a bit better about giving you a call.
Yeah. So you handwrote this little letter, this little sticky note. How many sticky notes would you say you put out?
Ooh, definitely 20, 30 at least.
So you sat at home and handwrote 20 or 30 little sticky notes.
Yeah.
And then you put them on a couple of neighbors' doors, your neighbors, your grandpa's neighbors. And then what happened? 2 called you back or something?
Actually, I got a few calling me back. And yeah, a few of them were. It's kind of hard to just get a call from somebody and try and turn it into a sale. But if you can just really talk to them just regular people. For me, it's always been one of the things when somebody calls you, it's just hang up. But if you can really try and, you said sell yourself, and if you can do that to just anybody, then I think sticky noting is a good way to go. Cool.
And that's why we're having this conversation right now is kudos to you, by the way, TJ. Let's give TJ some love. That's great. Rookie. So here's the thing that we just got from TJ, though, is that he took the time. How long would it say you took you to write down 20 or 30 sticky notes?
Oh, writing it down 5 minutes. Even that. Well,
that's a little exaggeration, but if you did it that fast, everyone's going to hire you to do it for them. But that's cool if it took you 5 minutes.
It's just a few minutes, just writing down sticky notes. It's not a huge part of the day or anything.
Cool. So just sat down, hand wrote 20, 30 sticky notes, put them on some neighbors' doors, got several callbacks. So would you say, about 5 to 10?
Something like that.
So 5 to 10 callbacks, 2 booked up demos with you?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was 3 in the end.
So
same day I got 2.
So same day, got 2 appointments booked up, 3 total appointments, and 1 bought $1,700 from you. Now that person that bought the $1,700, were they nice?
Yeah, they were really nice. Yeah. I find, at least in my experience, typically the meaner people are not trying to buy. But if you can find somebody who's really kind and will just speak to you, it's usually really good. And it can also make just the whole presentation a lot more fun.
And you never would have met these people if you just didn't take the initiative, right?
No way.
That's it. It's all about, man. And the rookie's doing this, which is awesome. So kudos to you, brother. So love the resourcefulness. So sticky note approach, that's an idea of what you can put on there. Hi, my name is Mike Abramowitz. I live up the street, 7 Crystal Place. I'm a student at Mattawan Regional High School. And I want to see if you could do me a favor. I stopped by. No one was home. If you could call or text me at this phone number as soon as you can, I'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks, with a smiley face. Real simple. All right. Email to past teachers. We talked about past teachers, getting their email addresses. Email to past teachers. I don't know if you remember me, but I went to blank school, graduated blank. I was blank in your class. I was trying to get in touch with you because I had a quick question about something. I'm working towards a scholarship for my new summer job, and I was hoping you help me out. What's the best phone number to reach you on and a good time of day to call? Looking forward to talking with you. Why would you want to get their phone number and not try to set up the appointment through email? Is just so that way you could explain it a little bit better, make it a little bit more urgent, give a little bit more or voice inflection, make it a little bit more personal, right? So those are a couple of ideas for you. Now, the next one, message to friends for parents' phone numbers. So this is something that I would encourage. I would encourage this now, especially with Snapchat nowadays. I would do a video and just send the video out to your friends so they know it's like legit. Now, I'm not saying do that. I know you guys may be like, no way, that's dumb. That's not going to work, whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying do that, but I'm saying I wouldn't knock it until someone tried it. I wouldn't knock it until someone tried it. You know, it's easy to knock someone and be like, that sounds weird. I wouldn't do it. But I would, if I were anyone, I would try it. So that's just an idea. But this message works too. You know, just copy and paste the template, which is I just got this new job, helping me save money for college. You guys could read the rest. I'm just doing a quick presentation for people, get their opinion on it. It's fun and simple. I usually need to do 5 appointments at my goal this week. So I want to know if your parents might be able to help out. Well, who's easier to talk to, your mom or your dad? I really appreciate it. Copy and paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Send 50 of those a day. I guarantee you'll get trickle-in messages from a good percentage of them. Another good percentage of that will respond with a phone number. Super simple. Do that on Instagram, Snapchat, do that on Facebook. And here's what's cool. Once you do that, then you could end the conversation with, oh, by the way, are you looking for part-time work or do you know someone that is? And then you end the conversation, then you can potentially offer them an opportunity to interview for the job too, since you're already engaged in the conversation. Just a thought. Next one, Facebook post. How many of you can enroll that aunt, that mom, that grandma, even a customer to post the status on their Facebook that says, who can help out? Because you understand that when your aunt posts this on her Facebook and tags you in it, it goes to everyone in her network. And then anyone who likes or comments it, then you can connect with them and reach out to them. And it just spreads out to all these other networks that never would have known you existed. Question about this Facebook? Let's see on this. Write it down so you don't forget that.
My dad just looks like that. He said it's a screen. I don't want to interrupt you.
You just did. We end at 9:30 every Wednesday.
9:30?
Yeah. I got you. Cool. All right. So who can help out? And by the way, I have everyone in this room. You might be able to benefit from this message too. So I wouldn't even be looking at your phone with texting dad. You wouldn't even know dad texted you if you're paying attention, right? So don't please forgive me for responding to that exchange. And I don't mean to call you out, but you just interrupted message. So all right. So Facebook posts from customers. All right. This is a great avenue and a great opportunity for you as well. Facebook message potential customers. This would be something that you could use to send to your mom's Facebook friends, right? This could be something that you could send to your aunt's Facebook friends, your customers' Facebook friends, right? This is as good as calling. In fact, you could call right through Facebook Messenger. You don't even need their phone number. Another avenue for you. The next avenue, text recommendations. This is the text to the recs, and then you have the recs texting the customers. All right, so those are all different avenues, Let me come up for some air before I wrap up with the last couple of miscellaneous tips and objections. What landed with you from all these avenues I want to go around the horn. I want to hear from at least 3 or 4 of you. What landed for you after going through all the different avenues that you're like, I've heard it before, but these are a couple of actions I can take. This was helpful. That was a good reminder. So let's go to Josh first, and then we'll go to Amanda, and then we'll go whoever's next. What should I for you, Josh?
Definitely just think about how many teachers I've had in the past 5 to 12 years. If I send a message or email to all of them, I'm sure I probably will respond. Definitely easier that. I also just want to stress the importance of sending text to your recs and having them text their customers because it makes it a lot easier to look at your plan and stuff.
Hot idea if you're still in school. Sticky note your teacher's mailboxes. So every teacher has a mailbox, so you can send them an email and also put a little sticky note, give it to the front desk and say, hey, front desk, maybe you do 3 or 4 or 5 at a time. It's like, hey, can you put this in a little envelope or some little card or whatever and put it into teachers' mailboxes at school? Then they'll get it. Maybe put a little thank you card. And they're like, what is this? Oh, it's just a little thank you card for my favorite teachers I had. Want to thank them. You put a little thank you card with the sticky note approach in there. Just an idea. Love that. What were you going to say, Amanda? And then we'll go one or 2 others.
Yeah, thinking about the extended family, I thought I got all of my family, but I just after this exercise, like reaching out to my aunt-in-law's family is definitely a thought.
It's a thought. I have no idea what it will yield, but it's a possibility. Give me 1 or 2 more. Alex, Lindsay, or anyone in front of us. Old bosses. No matter how awkward it could be.
The Facebook post, like for your parents. I remember Steven talking about this one a while ago, but like I just haven't implemented that yet. So I'm definitely gonna have my parents do that and see how it goes.
Cool. Lindsay, go for it.
Definitely, again, like Alex said, the Facebook messaging. Funny story. So I actually asked my aunt if I know her friends too, like personally. I said, hey, can I get in touch with them? She said no. Like straight up would not give me their phone numbers.
So where's the funny part of the story?
That was supposed to be the funny part.
Got it. So so after hearing this exercise of what we went through today, what shows up for you?
Well, I was figuring with the Facebook, I could kind of go around and message them on Facebook and, if they respond, great. If they don't, then move on.
You got it. And I also think, if on the screen, you'll see this is how we enroll, the aunt, right? How to get someone involved using something like this. And It's not a matter of, if you notice, it's not wimpy words. It's not asking permission. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward of what the approach looks like and what to say. So, and maybe your aunt was in a bad mood at that point in time or something like that. Who knows what she was dealing with as far as that goes. So, but I love that you gave the effort. I think that's really good that you gave the effort as far as that goes. So I think that's the biggest takeaway from what Lindsay's saying is I gave the effort to reach out to, an aunt and attempted. And hey, it didn't work out. No big deal. So what? Who cares who's next? And there's always a backdoor if you have resourcefulness. So the miscellaneous tips sounds like they're expecting a call, sound like you were setting up the appointment versus asking for the appointment, sound like they should know who you are, and sound like someone that they want to meet. So those are a couple of simple miscellaneous tips. Also in this document are objections that you could answer, like if they ask any questions on the phone, plus the firm up to make sure that you don't have appointments reschedule on you consistently as well. So these are all different tools and tips that you can use, during your phoning, during your thought jogging. I expect each of you to have a follow-up call with your coach tomorrow for your benchmark call and figure out what from this document can you implement into your business that will work for you. Some of it will work, some of it might not work. What lands for you, what will, what you want to make work will work. So you have the resources. Now it's just happening the resourcefulness. So that's our Getting More Appointments workshop. So I'm going to stop the screen share. I will stop the recording.